behind it. But yeah, I want to see this Viper Sky combo. What a curious roster from Fnatic here.
Well, do you know what? This is kind of a little bit of a mix-up, right, on Phoenix's abilities. He can draw a wall. He can create his own pop flash angle, right? With this Viper wall, they can potentially create some really interesting angles to kind of work Sky. Initially, so you're just going to have a little default boom bot up towards Hooker there, and Wave look well equipped to deal with it. Actually, Tribune going to get perfect timing on Mo's drone.
Have we got aggression in towards Showers on the defending side? Oh, baby, this is going to be fantastic. I love it. Now, the plant comes in response, but look at those post plants. They're going to be smothered. They're going to be surrounded. That is the exact thing I want to be seeing. Make those post plants tricky, because when you've got a Viper, when you've got a Sky, they're going to have all that information, and you know there's going to be utility lobbed down. They do get it to halfway. That's imperative, and actually, they're going to stick the defuse straight through the smoke. They go, and it's done for. Wave. Wave. Are you kidding me?
One enemy remaining.
Okay, I'm gonna come back to the death segment again.
Talk to me.
Go away, do your homework on the team you're playing against, knowing that Fnatic are gonna rely so heavily on that Brimstone and the Viper post plant. That's why we see that aggression. That is the perfect response. Again, the Showers push comes through, shuts Mo down. They have enough time and space to then pressure that post plant lineup. And actually, they didn't even bother doing that. They just stuck the defuse because they said, we know what you're going to do. It's now a 4v3 or whatever it was. You're going to go back, play short. You're going to play by stairs, work over those mollies. I love it already. Round one, I love it. We love a proactive pistol round, Pansy.
We do. And the Showers control fight, right? Information being garnered for old Nico. Now, we'll kind of break it down as to why, if this is a slow round, which I think it's going to be forced to be. This is something that's very difficult to deal with. Again, this is something very stylistically applied now towards Fnatic, is that they have these very slow hit a default, which they've done, and now they lean a sight. Now, normally you'd like aggression, so maybe Raze or Jet does start making a move, because otherwise, obviously, this defending side is going to be overwhelmed, but they're holding the extremity. So they're saying, right, we'll let you take sight, but we're going to sit in shower and maybe catch a cross, which is a nice way to define the site, but you've lost the fight to Boaster. That's where problems begin, and they get pinched on. Exactly, Mo. That late playthrough shower there, just kind of keeping control, building back in. Plant now comes in, rotations are late. This is the style that Fnatic wants to bring.
And that's it, yeah. Mo going to find another one, so the investment back into round two. Looking out for Fnatic so far. Whether or not Wave are going to be able to do any damage here. Once again, look at the minimap. Again, they've got the post plant set up. It's that contingency plan. The safety blanket, if you like. Nice flash through, actually, but Muri does catch a little bit of a team flash there. Doma will find Nico. Muri will find a constellation kill, but with that clock ticking down, I think it's just economy damage that he's going to be looking to do. Find another one as well. That's Stinger. Okay.
Who's this guy?
Oh, no, he whiffed a nade.
No. I was so ready, dude. I was about to steal that crosshair setting. I was there for you.
Okay.
Right, we got some spice, Hypoc. We got some spice.
I mean, do you know what? That's another good example of what we're talking about, right? Boaster, this IGL for Fnatic, again, the information gathering, knowing that that's potentially going to be the setup, and Wave might try to kind of, you know, maybe exploit that a little bit. Straight away, we see the setup address the issue in round one. Mo waits out. He doesn't drone through showers. He waits for that contact and pinches at the right time. Again, I love that round by round kind of fix on just those small things. Yep. It's crossing the T's, dotting the I's.
And that's why I wish they built off that Sky Flash through Hooker a little bit more. Maybe not instantly, but a little bit later after a default would potentially go back. I know jiggle peeking is a little frowned upon here, but even just get a little info, see no one, and then start making that kind of play around the back. And it's going to be a stack up here. Looks like they're going to try and play around, you know, Razor's leftover gun. This is what a default's here to catch, though. So Mystic should be able to find this information very quickly. You've already got Sky on the other side being called to attention too over by Showers. It looks like they're going to crest around on that pretty soon, so Jack could be in trouble if he gets overwhelmed, but he has... Yeah, there he goes. I love this from Wave as well.
Yeah.
Because, again, you don't win a traditional round against a better buy like this normally, unless you have something up your sleeve, and why not try something a bit different? Isolate a couple of players, get a gun away or two, try and make them reinvest if you can.
And they're actually going to get... I think that was a weapon swap up there to give a Vandal up to that upper angle, so he's going to hold this Doma actually boosted up. Hold this angle all the way down to the defensive spawn, but again, aim of the game here for Wave, it's economy damage. It's to remove some of these weapons, which is why we saw the stack, as you said. You're not really going to be able to take these 1v1s. They just swarm Jack over by Showers. Actually, Murray catching a sound cue on Boaster there, so he's got to be careful when he comes back out of Hookah. Mystics missed the timing on it as well. There you go. Yeah, Boaster will falls. Once again, just going to play the exits a little further here, whether or not they get another one. Doma seems like he's cleaning up now with a couple of headshots. They will TP away.
Oh, they've gone 3.
Yeah.
That's honestly great damage. If you're going by Counter-Strike standards, at least 3 players dead, it's hard to reinvest. It costs them that little extra money to get the guns back up. So it could at least keep the economy humble. It's obviously not a round win, but it's going to force a predicament on at least 1 or 2 players.
Indeed, as now we come back in, Wave have a much better buy this time around. So expect to see our first example of maybe their buy round default, if you like. And it's looking, obviously, with the lack of presence really on A shore, I'm expecting it to play a little deeper on A site on the defense, because it looks like, again, we're going to see a little bit of aggression outside of Hookah. I'm with you here. Once they don't get this contact, this information with the boombot and the sky flash, yeah, I want to see them. Oh, actually, look at this. Yeah,
love that.
Back actually going to flash out of the rooftop of showers here. Orbital Strike invested it too, so a fast hit coming onto A. Yeah,
they've sped up the pace here because they know the flank is vulnerable, but luckily Mystic's there to catch it. Murray's dead. That was meant to be the kind of punching, back line almost to kind of catch anyone there is, but now Wave's going to be only operating with 3. You can see Nico trying to make something work for himself, but that late kind of post-plant utility is going to come into play here. Considering how quick that hit was, they have plenty left over to make this very much hurt. And now Mystic, he's secured the back lines. He can refocus towards the site where they know most of these players are. Great information recovered. And there's 2 quick kills. You're going to see, I love this. Fnatic have elevated to meet these players, and that is good work from Mystic to close, but a nice little pace change there after that more standardized start. I don't think it was a bad call from the Rays either. They went on that fact-finding mission. They knew where the site was, or the site hit was coming in too, but Fnatic, that pace change definitely shook things up.
Oh, really good stuff. Again, I could see both members of Wave obviously trying to play a little deeper on site. At that point, I mean, if Fnatic are going to do that, they're just going to brute force their way up short. And obviously, they've got to be conscious of that shower presence that's already shown. Yes, it was round 1 and 2, but that's got to be a factor now for both teams. So I'm liking the readjustment. I do want to see them act a little bit more for this information on B, which actually, you can see, yeah, the sky flash comes down. Doma. They'll find 2 Jack for the 3rd as well. So they get themselves free access as all 3 members down on B.
I still like the investment of utility as well, coming in from the sky there from Jack. Being meticulous and investing your utility after seeing 3 players on long is probably a good idea in case it's a further stack beyond that.
Yes, yeah.
But for now, they will get the plant in. You're going to see them switch it up on towards a pistol, which I actually think is quite a nice idea, considering we've seen, I guess, Fnatic set the standard. They like those A hits. That's been predominantly where they've been hitting. Now, up on the pistol, they switch it up in case potentially there's a stack sitting on A. It's probably a nice in-game leadership call there from Boaster, potentially. He's just going to clear out as he goes, but they are somewhat safe. This is what I like to see is a very much a thinking man's game, but then this is why we always talk about firepower beside it. Even with the right reads, which Wave, I think, have right now, sticking the landing still going to be tricky because you have someone like Doma there. You've got so many big kind of named players now, heavy hitters, that will still decimate you. So it's, okay, theory's right. Let's get the execution down. Let's get that firepower online here.
But what I want to see Wave is kind of take something away from some of these rounds. And yes, they might look like throwaways, but kind of just getting a beat on who's playing where, who likes to show presence early round where, and then act upon it. But whether or not we'll see a play get made from, potentially Sky combo with a Jet, something along those lines. To the rounds really where you want to be taking note. And again, much of the same example I said about Boaster, right? That round 1 factor, they completely reduce that risk in round 2.
And again, default, but the switch up this time. Going for a B lean. Now, we do have a different approach here. We've seen Murray now lean towards showers a couple of times, but also towards Hookah. So it looks like when they go for aggression, Murray's normally the one to kind of lead the way. Now hearing this and also seeing that Viper wall, it might have kept them a little bit more committed towards A, but it is a fake, and I like the way they're using it for conditioning. However, we've got a bit of a 3-2 split here. Zeke's in a bit of trouble. He's now going to see people coming his way, but good utility usage could at least cut this attack in half. But they still need to land the shots, and Jack's having none of it. Nico's there on response, but you're going to have Doma already pushed further forward. They need to help out the rest of the players, though, because they're still getting kind of chewed up over by Long. Quick flash in, but he catches most of it. Seekers go down. Jet, Carcass could have done something, but no, Doma bails them out. Quick trades come in, but it's Boaster to find the last kill towards the site. In all of that mayhem, we have to look at what remains. 2 players for either side, but look at the HP on Fnatic. It is low. Now, luckily, you know what? She can do just about everything, this guy. We could get a heal going on.
Jack of all trades.
Exactly. Did you say jack of all trades?
Yeah.
That was really smart of you.
Thank you. Thank you for noticing.
You're welcome. I'm proud of you. But for, but for now, on the other side, Nico just needs to be patient. He can play to hear the sound cue of the spike going down. With that little time left, they can't clear all of this.
And actually, still, there you go. That's going to give the audio cue across. Now, Nico, I want to see him wait this out, or just find that kill instantly. His teammate's still rotating through defensive spawn now. Last player, Chak, is down to 30 HP. So that information is going to go across. We'll see him stack up and just sweep through here. Get this trade. Make sure that there's no possibility of Chak clutching this out. Now he's got himself the 1v1 and he clutches it out. The third on the round. We'll find both headshots there. That was a little sloppy from Wave on the way back in.
Yeah, credit to Jack for just landing the shots, but you're right. I mean, I was expecting a little bit more of a swing from Tribune there. Considering there's a lot of steps coming in from Nico, I think it was, who was, running across, very loud and, clearly showing he was in that tube at the back there towards the left side of it, rather than towards the spawn side. I was hoping they were going to just double face, just in case. You have to face everything as tradable, and that was an untradeable moment. Whether or not the player went ahead of when Tribune was ready, who knows, but that needs to be refined because, as I said, this is the difference maker. Pound for pound, it's dangerous to play against. This is very tricky, but Murray's getting a little interested. Oh, the timing's atrocious. Too many targets, too little time. No way you could have found both, and this slow default has now punished them. You can't dry peek into this.
And that's... Again, it's got to be a frustration factor, right? You're going to want to go out and find those first bloods to kind of weaken how strong this formation is from Fnatic. Now, and again, they're happy to sit this out now. Man advantage, we talked about this just before the game went live, right? They're happy to kind of do these late round hits where, come 30 seconds, all 5 regroup, they hit something. Because they know then that if they've got first blood, it's then potentially a 4v1 or 4v2, whichever site they do end up going to. So... this is it, and it's agony for the defending team.
Yep.
For Fnatic to just sit back and let the round play out like this.
I mean, this is the thing of it. It's incredibly hard to play against. You need absolute turrets to deal with it, and honestly, you kind of need a very mobile op, I feel, is something, at least, in my experience. I'll come back to that in a second. As we do see the side hit coming in, both players now stuck towards the U-Haul and towards every part of this. You got, oh god, Doma, you are quick to move, but both players just got cleared out in the meantime. That ultimate invested forced them again into the sights of the opponents, and Wave are having no luck. I do not think their theory is wrong, but they are not beating these players pound for pound, and Doma's just flexing on them now. This is Fnatic looking incredibly strong. This is a great match for them at the moment. Right. Let me just roll this back then, because we have to look at what's the answer to a team that defaults and then executes quite slowly, because that's not only what we're seeing from Fnatic, but it's what we're seeing predominantly from Fnatic. Now, traditionally in Counter-Strike, it became very notorious with the likes of Na'Vi kind of doing these very slow mid-takes and then splitting towards the A bomb site on Dust 2, for example. And it's very hard to do much against. You kind of just have to have that turret on site, be able to at least bare minimum buy time. Yeah, Wave do need a tactical timeout to talk through their options, right? So it's like, I feel as though you do need that kind of stand and deliver opper or a mobile, operator player who can potentially sit back, keep falling away. You don't have to kind of be just in there, willing to die for it, but at least kind of be able to sit on the site and allow the rest of your team to flex around you. Try and get that information on the extremities.
Yes, I absolutely agree. It kind of takes some plays to isolate some of these single players that are that are part of this default setup, right? So eyes immediately go towards Doma. What I don't want to see is Wave keep giving Doma a 1v1, because right now the way he's playing, he's going to win that, right? I want to see some kind of synergized kind of play to like you said, isolate one member of this default. Yes, I like the idea around the operator. I think with Fnatic, the way they're set up, they're well equipped to kind of deal with these angles.
Yeah, I mean, the only other option is you make them run out of time, but the utility slowing them down is non-existent. Look at this, they're already just right on that verge. You do have a little bit coming back in from Sky,
switch it up.
But this ain't slow. This is still pacey, right? Like, this has got a bit of fight to it. Still above 1 minute, they've shown a lot of presence through the TP we go. Good rotation. Now can utilize that Viper wall that's been in place the entire time. Wave now need to hit those re-rotations, but look at the punishment here. We've got players everywhere. We've still got 3 players for Fnatic leaning towards B, and they've already caught 1 rotation.
And we're still just, again, waiting for one member of Wave to bite off of that early presence and the DP sound going through. Oh, gee, Boaster, I think actually came out the better of that 1v1. You can see the HP. Back off there. We'll get the Sky heal. Back up to full. Here you go. It's actually Zeke. Going to be facing off against Doma. Spike in the background. You can see it. Mystic making his way back over towards Long. Boaster now will get this kill. That's going to draw out the rotation. This is going to give them complete map control.
Yep. This is going to be hard work. Boaster should be dead, and he is. Now, information has been found. It's all on Murray to do something about this, and yeah, look at that bait. Knife in hand, Viper just whips around the wall. You have Mo on the wider swing. Yeah, these guys are playing a really well-refined game. Nice synergy between those two players. And again, Nico now does get the element of surprise on one, but instantly the trade will be there. Mystic never too far away from it. And look at the intuition. That internal clock ticks and Mystic turns. This is a very well-rehearsed side. And again, not a stylistic mismatch, I would say, but this is just two teams playing quite a similar style to an extent, but one significantly further in that process here.
I mean, again, even my P-brain can't understand. I saw the spike making its way over to B long there, Lauren, and then Boaster finds that kill, should bait out the rotation, but the hit comes back onto A within 25 seconds left on the clock. They're happy to just full W key it. Like you said, knife out.
Turret out.
Problem is as well, like, I hate to say it, Zik and Carcass, you can't be sitting on one kill at this point as well. It's rough.
But make some plays.
Yep. I mean, I'm not saying it's easy to do it. I'm just saying it's going to be a kind of element as to what's going to be hindering you if you can't quite get into form yet. You can already see this play. I like this. Again, I think Wave have some really nice looks to them. And I really don't want this to be disparaging to them in the long run, sitting at a scoreline like this, because I think the way they approach the game is correct. I think they have a very good mentality on the game. Murray will be locked out of this again. Oh, dear. I don't know if he could have tucked into one of those corners there. Honestly, I think he was dead. Dead to rights. And even, like, looking at this in my mind, again, while this kind of eco round plays out, unless, obviously, Wave do something more interesting with it, the fact they're willing to invest their kind of ultimates in rounds like this just to clear out corners, I think it's a really good kind of approach. But it is a 3v3, so it's not over yet. But we're on the wrong side of the map.
And Dome is quite a way away. If they can find this 2v1 on site, obviously the Viper's pit is down. Yeah, you're going to see, actually, a little bit of spam onto the spike as well. Mystic should find both of these. They've both walked into it. There you go. Spots the barrel, finds Nico first of all. Actually doesn't expect Tribune over there, so brings it down to 1v1. Tribune still on 1 HP though because of the decay. He's got to wait for it to tick back up. Yeah, there you go. Doma knows exactly where he is now.
Well played. Honestly, good round though. Again, this is what I like about Wave. They aren't bad at all. It's just you're not winning the rounds here. And that sounds really counterintuitive, right? But I look at it as the eye test, and I think most people do as well. It's why we got excited when we saw NIP playing the way they did, because you saw what happened literally an event later. But this is a longer process, but this is a good first look for us seeing Wave, at least to my eyes. I don't think they're a bad squad at all. They're making some decent responses. I'm just not seeing, you know, the player skill backing that up just yet, but I think the in-game leadership's certainly in the right place.
Indeed. Again, it's easy to sit here and say, yeah, isolate one of those members as part of this default. But again, Fnatic just have the ability to switch it up so often.
Look at them falling away. Now, do they check this with intent? Yeah, well enough. Murray, well, good work. Now very cognizant that they're pretty pinched here, and losing out on Carcass means that he's very isolated. We should have a little look towards Doma. He's not going to be there for a while. Maybe sticking on board with that Raze, seeing how they're playing, could be quite interesting. Because Zoma's still got a long way till be anywhere relevant here. You're going to see Sky the one to engage. Yep, Murray now in trouble. Dead, buried, gone. Now, again, not necessarily a bad idea. Nico's like, really? This far? Okay, cool. But still, that's a good disruptive play, but this is again where it gets problematic. You're left in a 2v4.
And, well, I was going to say, they need to find an entry back on for this retake to work out. Mo immediately shuts down Zeke, and honestly, and again, this sounds stupid saying it out loud, but the amount of space that showstopper, just the audio cue is able to create, that's really what Wave need to do with their abilities, right? They can't seem to find a way to do the same thing without that ultimate usage. But again, the crazy thing is Fnatic are able to just back up. They peel away, they tuck into a corner. Mystic comes all the way through attackers spawn, all the way through cave, and they're able to kind of shut down that hit. Honestly, I don't know what the answer is. Fnatic are able to switch it up. They have kind of like 2 or 3 different variations. The only real, constant is Doma outside of Hookah. That's the only one, and it's so awkward for the defenders to push out of there. Because on the one round that they stacked there, I mean, you get farmed, right?
I think for me overall, credit Fnatic for looking this good, and this is them playing to their skill level now. And they're one of the teams that I haven't seen falter too much doing that. I've definitely been looking across the board as to who can continue their playstyle and not be affected by, let's say, the opposing team do weird stuff. Like, how many times you play a game, oh, they're just randoms, they play, like, brainless idiots, I don't know what to do against it, blah, blah, blah. They don't do that. They hold their own, and this is a really big factor as to what I like about Fnatic, is they're still able to apply their playstyle to this degree. And again, I'm not going to be screaming about this matchup, because it sounds weird, but it's not that close. These players are outclassing them by a country mile, and it's more of a nice topic discussion than anything else. But we have to see if Wave can maybe break this chain. For now, we look at Fnatic as the formidable team who've pretty much become untouchable, at least in this matchup so far. Beyond that,
I was going to say they need to convert some of this B-long aggression here. They are going to come back and pick up the heal, which Dumber is going to heal. He actually drops out of Hooker here. Murray will get the better of him at 1v1, but look at this. Here come the reinforcements now. Arcus tucked outside the TP. Nico, I think, just spotted there, and might see them try and convert this one.
Look at that, the flash and the swing. Don't mind that at all.
What?
The double. Oh, they dashed into the lineup.
Oh no.
How
But I love it. I love it from Wave though.
Me. I've made my mistakes. Do you? I like what Murray's doing. He's got 3 kills, but that's about it for me. I don't love everything else about this. But you know what? Let's see what chat can do. Are you a believer in the 1v3?
Have you heard about... I'm not going to do it to you. I'm not going to do it to you.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
You do it much
he got
better.
the big brain to find Murray. Does Murray overpush? No, he doesn't. Well played, Murray. Murray could have had the want then to push further. Oh, there we go. Gives away a little information.
Tommy turret. He spotted him.
Oh, Chak. He's hating it. He's absolutely hating life. But look, yes, the response was there, but I mean... It's
last round before the switch.
I'm not. I
mean, yes,
sold.
the best response they've made still didn't look great, right? But that's the sort of thing it's going to take to shut down Fnatic's default, is those defensive executes. And yes, again, the win condition is finding value. Again, you could do it 3 rounds out of 4 and find nothing and burn a lot of utility trying to do it.
Yeah.
But the problem is once Wave kind of let the game run away from them, you're in just an economic... You're in economic turmoil for the rest of the half.
Yeah, and I am people saying that they're quite surprised seeing Sky looking like it's getting into the meta. I'm loving it, honestly. I'm really glad to see these more kind of Phoenix-esque but reactive plays with a more well-rounded sort of kit beside them. For now, Wave's actually holding the hit for once. Doma this time's dead. Now Mo wants to get in, but no. Tribune holds the line, and suddenly Fnatic are having problems. This isn't looking so likely, but there we go. Chak's on the case now, pushing in towards Showers. The second even comes through, but Murray's positioning is good. They've got themselves breathing room. It's not much, but it is a little.
Switching sides.
Really not much. 3 rounds is hard to work with.
It is indeed. It is, and
okay.
I mean the worrying thing is the first time we saw this roster, I'm talking about Fnatic, put on a show, it was on defense, on bind. That was where, in my eyes, where they kind of took EU Valorant from completely out of nowhere. To be honest with you, it was a total surprise for me personally.
Yeah, and again, this is what we said about the very start of the day. If you guys at home weren't there at the pre-show, look, I don't blame you. It's just us talking a load of nonsense together. But we were saying that this was a little bit of a quote-unquote easier side of the bracket, so we didn't really know the kind of eye test for at least one of these teams, which is Wave. So this can happen. It's a big old bracket. It is what it is. For now, we're going to have that quick play up towards B-Long. The counter quickly comes from Chak to at least keep back those 3 players, and even kind of gets far enough back to not be done in by any part of that utility kit. Rotations are in, but there's that TP taken.
Yeah, that was just to get the orb, actually. Interestingly enough, Spike has remained inside market, and the 3-man push going to come through now. The one way on short, actually, nobody holding on to that angle. Actually, it's going to give Wave really good entry here. No kill just yet, and the molly will burn down the clock a little bit, stop that plant, give some time for the rotation to come through. There's no rotation, actually. So Fnatic are holding
Who's
the
in
line.
hookah? Where's Raze? Show us Raze! Oh, Doma got Nico, but no more to be found. A quick trade for Tribune here. Jack now going to be trying to keep the attention away to allow the swing to come in from the site, but both get dealt with. That's a problem. Mo was the player on the site itself, and he was trying to be almost baited in just so he could step out as the attention was drawn. But now with the spike planted, the two players from Fnatic are in a little bit of a tricky spot. Not going to check your angles, you're going to get punished. Not necessarily a 50-50, but the deeper corner is tough to peek around, and Boaster now left with it all to do. Already baited by one.
Oh, yeah.
This is not a pleasant scenario. I guess Jet's HP is low, but they know two are here, so he needs to dismantle this at least potential crossfire in front of him. Checks the first angle correct. Oh, again, no. They fall for it. Check your corners with full intent, of course. Easier said than done, but there we go. A little bit of a buffer created now. I actually really like the approach then from Wave. Very, very nicely considered from start to finish. It looked kind of mad rotations, but it worked.
I mean, both pistol rounds now go to Wave. So there's something there. There's something there. And again, I love the setup once again. This is why we love Bind, right? You can farm the old orb on B, hop in the TP, come all the way back, take the TP again, just trying to bait out those rotations. And again, you know, hats off to Fnatic. They hold the line. Doma actually getting that first blood in Hooker, but very quickly traded out.
Steps heard. Here we go. Mystic on the other side, quickly overwhelmed. Wave just want to nail it right now. Keep that pressure mounting by Mo. Welcome to the site. Here we are. Wave now, securing as they go. Like that hit. All-encompassing, not messing around, but there's still a threat hit. Boaster was lingering in the smoke, but kept in check by Zeke. This is quite good. This is decent so far.
Again, not really paying too... Ooh, nice little flick from Doma there, but... I mean, Wave just... Yeah, saying, cool. What are you going to set up? You want us to run through your through your molly? We'll do it. That's fine. Just the all-out Zerg rush through showers there. Just not really playing into the Fnatic setup. We'll have to wait to see if anything really switches up on the buy round and whether or not Wave are willing to play at the same kind of pace on their buy round.
So
interesting.
I reached out to, the Wave, I guess, org at the start of the day, because I wanted to just know where these players came from. I didn't know too many of them, and Murray's the one that I find interesting. Came from Crossfire, which obviously isn't huge in Europe, essentially, or NA, but we saw Supermen as well, who joined one of the NA squads for a little while. Look ridiculously good aim-wise, so, Crossfire players, apparently, man, they're pretty wild, but right now, he's going to be put down, so sadly my point seems redundant, but I promise you it's very good. However, quick little dash through the TP there, trying to keep the rotations on their toes, but they haven't gotten rid of Mo just yet, nor Boaster, and they're both on towards the A side. We should be looking over towards that side. There it is. Boaster on the swing through. Nice spray down from Boaster. Mo even doubles down and gets Carcass too. This is nice work from them. Now, the re-rotations are going to come in. Tribune's a mile away. He was the one who took the TP originally. So this ain't fun for anyone.
I always just want to hear that when I hear the footsteps. Sorry.
How dare you have fun? Stop it.
Yeah.
Bastard. Caster, have fun.
I was just like,
Stop.
is it the Ride of the Valkyries or something? That would be the best music to be dubbed over those footsteps.
But yeah, so look at this. It's a really eclectic mix of players that came in. We've got Zik was Danish semi-pro in CS, it looked like, playing a lot of Faceit stuff. Carcass, ex-CS pro from Lithuania, which is pretty cool. Nico, Fortnite, Murray Crossfire, and Tribunes from H1Z1. So really eclectic mix. For now, though, Doma will be forced away from Hookah, going to be forced to fall back in, but Murray's kind of slipped through a little early, actually, kind of ahead of the nades, ahead of all that spam that came in. He could get a nice swing towards potentially Mo. Yeah, you can see the tag there. Couldn't quite land it because Mo dipped away, but they're getting a lot of attention, and now there's 4 players on the B side, though.
Yeah, it just leaves one for Fnatic over back towards A. The flash comes through, actually going to try and force the issue here. Boaster going to find 2 kills to stop this push. The orbital strike invested as well. Tribune's got to get out of there, but he's forced into the open. Boaster will find a 3rd. Doma will find Tribune, and there you go. Boaster with a 4K here. Really, really good hold. Again, just the presence of mind immediately to invest that ultimate, the orbital strike to force him out of guard, and just fantastic stuff. And I mean, it's a big risk, right? To stack 4 over and rotate that early, but I mean, Wave played into it perfectly.
Yeah, I've got to give credit to those rotations again. Really, really good stuff. I mean, this is good positioning, good timing. But the scoreline's a little less, I guess, espresso depresso right now. It's kind of, you know, looking all right. At 5-11, you lost to a stronger team at this point. Yeah, I'd love to see a little bit more. I want to see more from Wave, because they seem quite creative on approach, but their economy's broken. Aside from Carcass, so let's see what he can do now. Knives out. Wasn't sold on the film, felt it's a little overhyped, but Carcass is on the site, and you can already see the Killjoy getting involved in this as well, and Carcass going to sweep through and clear. Has to come through the smoke, catches a glimpse, a little too thick for your own good there, Chak. Just showing off all that cake and no birthday today, and it looks like, again, this should be at least a decent round for now. 4 players still standing, and you do have Carcass just holding this cross.
Yeah, if he can stay posted here, again, I'm not sure when the recon bolt's going to come back online. Maybe actually just we switch away. There you go. Yeah, that should force him out of here, but we will find the entry. Good enough for me. Mo will find the trade. Now, Fnatic in a 2v3 retake. One member is low. Definitely doable, but that clock is ticking down. Are they going to be able to find a kill? No, the molly's on now. Then the clock's already run too late. Is the undoable task here for Fnatic. One of our boats is just going to try and remove some weapons from the occasion. Find the first, not the second though. Trade it out. So nice execute coming through from Wave, and a nice hold as well.
Yeah. Again, 6-11. Scoreline isn't terrible. I've seen worse scorelines. Mostly me on the wrong side. But for now, they've broken a bit of a trend here, because that first half, that's rough. But to have the mental fortitude to kind of shake it off, right, come back in, let's have a little go at this. Let's start trying to play our game now. We've got, I don't want to say a buffer, they're against 11 rounds, that's horrible. But what they can do is at least try and build as best they can. This is the first time we get to see Wave, and I truly want to see what they can bring. New look this time. You can see the response though. Fnatic have to answer that B presence, and they have with the 3-play stack. Now we're seeing attention elsewhere. Molotov invested. Boaster, he's going to be put to task pretty soon. Viper's trying to bail him out as well. Look at that util invested.
And really want to flush him out of that corner. And actually, look at the rotation for Fnatic. All 5 members coming back over towards the A site. Jack thinking better of it now because the hit doesn't come through. They don't follow up on that utility. Things will slow down for just a moment. Fnatic kind of reset, but they are going to keep 4 over on A site. And the important thing is obviously not to give away any clues. Obviously, we're talking about Sova's utility, Raze's utility. They're going to expect the Brimstone and the Viper, but that would give away setup really for... And actually, the drone potentially could do it. If I don't think any of the members of Wave were actually close enough to catch that sound cue, but that would have been one of the pieces of information to know that Sova had rotated over and was still on A site.
When's that internal clock gonna start getting a little funky? Should be pretty soon. Looks like Boaster's gonna try and find some information.
Yeah, they know.
Look. Wander around. Yeah, there we go. Time to go, Murray. Let's see what you got here. Dives on in, rocket to hand. We're just rolling it back to the Quake days. And just, you know what, spam it down. Not bad. Good to buy time. And maybe where's the damage on that, man? It looked like that was right on.
Yeah.
Hey, Plant gonna come in. Anything to stop it? No, Plant now down his post-plant time. 5v5 post-plants are brutal. We do have some ultimates online, and Doma and all the boys playing back through CT are going to be having a rough time, but it's Boaster cracking this open. First avenue available. Now the crossfire's not looking so strong. You can see the problems. Murray's so vulnerable once that player got picked up.
Oh, and actually the orbital strike is perfect. It's going to force him all the way back into garden. Look at that. Into the waiting arms of Mo. Boaster once again picks up so many kills on the retake here. Tribune will get a constellation. How many times has Boaster flanked back through Hooker on the retake? That's just... I don't know. Maybe just a little bit of a complacency there, because you think, you know, first, second time, sure. Second time you maybe get lucky because second time you got to expect it, but the third time...
21 kills for Boaster. Nice little performance from him. And Wave on the other side, Murray is leading the way, but 14-13, it's not, you know, going to turn heads, it's not going to change the world, but it's the first time we get to see these boys. This is the grander look at Europe, right? This is the excitement that we were waiting for, is to see what else is out there. We've had the boring invite tournaments, we've had the boring streamer tournaments. Now we get the actual talented players. Nico, though, sadly, just head first. Head first for Halos right now. Already dead. Pops the ult. Mystic's gonna have a whale of a time if they just keep walking forward. 1, 2,
No
make it a
way.
third corner. He did get 3, I guess, overall, but it was kind of nice if it was in, you know, succession.
Seekers are out, so again, it's
A
gonna
horrible
give
noise.
gonna give the information over. Actually, Zeke gonna catch the stun as well. Tribune location is revealed, so just a matter of time. Keep your eye on the mini-map. Got a man flanking back towards short, and it's none other than Boaster once again.
Ooh, that was a little spice to it. A little seasoning on top of that bad boy, but it is the 1v2. He's been... Trickle Molly, how disrespectful. Just dribbles to the feet. Now Tribune. What are you going to do? You got 33 seconds. No one's directly fighting you from where they were before. Look at all these annoying rotations. This guy's even back into B just in case. No. And Boaster's going to come around showers. So, Tribune's got the option. Do I walk where Boaster was? He seems paranoid, but not too away. He's got his ultimate. Let's see if they find him. Sky on the hunt. Going to force out Boaster. Not bad. That's a really good shout from Tribune. Well considered. Oh, no! But he loses to Big Daddy Jack. And that's going to be the GG, at least on map 1. Was it 13-6 here? Fnatic, I've got to say it.